Hi, I'm John Williams, director of BitterrootBeagle.com. This is the famous movie star, Jack the Bitterroot Beagle, and we're up here on top of the world. We're up at 10,157 feet, which is the top of Trapper Peak. It's the highest peak in the Bitterroot Mountains. We hiked up to Baker Lake. From Baker Lake, we took the trail up here to Trapper Peak. We did it in about 5 hours. Wasn't overly strenuous. We kind of took our time, but we're glad we came up here. It's just absolutely stunning. You can see all the way over here to Idaho, and we can see all the way over here to Hamilton, which is where Jack the Bitterroot Beagle lives. As soon as Jack quenches his thirst, we'll show you scenes from our hike, including a 360-degree view from Trapper Peak summit. We got an early morning start. Just up the hill from the Baker Lake trailhead, we come to Baker Point Overlook. The trail to Baker Lake offers diverse scenic landscapes. Here we are at Baker Lake, with our Trapper Peak destination in the distant background. Fishing is extremely good in this lake. From the main ridge, one can see an unnamed lake in the foreground and Baker Lake further down the slope. Here is East Trapper Peak and North Trapper Peak to the right. Middle Lake is below North Trapper Peak. Panning toward the east, we follow Gem Lake Peak down to Baker Lake. There are quite a few marmots in this area. Jack is always on the lookout for them. Once we get past the snowfield, it's a pretty short trek across the boulders and talus slope to Trapper Peak. Okay, Jack. Let's show the viewers a 360-degree view from Trapper Peak summit. We begin by looking to the southwest over Trapper's summit. In the background, over the Boulder Creek drainage, is Boulder Peak's middle and west summits. Further back is Mount Jerusalem and North Mount Jerusalem. As we pan to the west ridge of Trapper Peak comes into view, along with Mink Peak. To the northwest, you can see Trapper Creek drainage, then the summits around Chafin Canyon, West Chafin Peak, the Shard, Little Tin Cup Peak, and Sugarloaf Peak. Further away is El Capitan, and barely visible, one of the Como Peaks. To the northeast is Cave Lake, followed by a good view of North Trapper's 3 summit blocks and its climbable north face. The Bitterroot Valley is now in the distance, with East Trapper Peak approaching in the foreground. Next is Boulder Point and Boulder Peak's east summit. The massive block in the foreground is on Trapper's north ridge. And now we're back to our tour guide, Jack the Bitterroot Beagle, who just may be the only dog to have hiked Trapper Peak summit by way of Baker Lake. So check out our website, see some of Jack's other videos, and join us again for our next adventure.